Hey guys, Raises here, and today I'm going to be bringing you the top 10 best Family Guy episodes. So in the comments below, please let me know what you think of my list, and please let me know your list. Thank you, let's get on with the video. Number 10. Number 10 goes to E. Peterbus Unum. The episode is on this list because of how creative it is. So Peter's house becomes a country. And there are a lot of good jokes in this episode, too. Like, for example, the Can't Touch Me song parody, which was really funny. And there are a lot of other really good jokes mixed in the episode, too. But the reason why I love this episode and why it's on the list is how over the top it is. The episode is so over the top and is so dramatic, which is why I absolutely love the episode, and I hope you guys too. So this episode gets the number 10 spot. Number 9. In the episode, Brian becomes depressed about life and he starts singing with Frank Sinatra Jr. And you know what? I love it. The duet between Brian and Frank Sinatra Jr. seems really genuine and I love it. And also there are some good gags here like Peter backing up into Brian, and there are a couple more gags. Like the stuffed animals running away from Meg and one getting ran over by a truck. So this episode is really funny and it's really nice. I really don't know how to put it. This is one of those episodes I just love, but there's not much I can really say about it. So yeah, let's move on. Number 8. The number 8 spot goes to Surprise, another season 4 episode. But this time it is North by North Quahog. I absolutely love this episode for a number of reasons. 1. The episode is really, really funny. The argument that Meg and Chris have is really, really funny. And there are a lot of other jokes in the episode too that I love, such as Passion of the Christ 2, which was hilarious. And the other reason why I love this episode is how epic it is. The episode just feels epic. There's not much else I really need to say beyond that. It's just a really intense episode, and I really love that. So yeah, that's why I love the episode. So let's Number 7. Number 7 goes to Surprise, another season 4 episode. But this time it is Fast Times at Buddy Clancy High. And this episode is really, really underrated. Here's why it is on the list. So this episode is one of the funniest Family Guy episodes to date. There are so many memorable gags, such as Brian being a gangster while trying to teach the class full of idiots, the class full of idiots in general. The scenes with Chris and his English teacher were also kind of funny. And yeah, this episode was just really, really funny, and it was very creative with having Brian teach a class full of idiots and not doing a good job at it. So yeah, this episode was funny and it had a really good plot, and it's also very underrated. So yeah, moving Number 6. Number 6 goes to Petarded. Surprise out of all surprises, it is another episode coming from season 4. Yeah, season 4 is my favorite Family Guy season, so yeah. But moving on. So this episode is very, very, very funny. Peter acting retarded in this episode was just hilarious. Especially when he has to wear water wings so he can eat soup, then he just ends up drowning in it. And Peter also messing up was also very funny. And another thing why I love this episode is because of the moral it gives. So in the episode, Peter is known as retarded, and he takes advantage of that because he can get away with anything. So the moral in this episode is to not take advantage of everything, or else consequences will happen. And that is what happened to Peter. Peter loses his children in this episode, which is a good consequence for doing what he did. So yeah, it has good consequences, and it is also a very funny episode. Number 5. Number 5 goes to Rhode to Germany. So this is one of 3 Road to episodes that will be making it onto this top 10. So here is why I love this episode. The episode is very creative. It is very creative how Mort thinks that the time machine is a porta potty, Then he gets sent back into World War II. The reason why I love this episode is mainly because it teaches some good history. It teaches history on World War II, which is something that is, well, very creative when it comes to Family Guy. It is also very funny when you see Stewie impersonate Hitler, which was, again, hilarious. This episode was also very epic too. There are a lot of really cool chase scenes in this episode, so yeah. This episode has a lot of cool chase scenes, a really good plot. It's just very creative in general, and is also very funny. So let's move on. Number 4. Number 4 on this list is The Big Bang Theory, coming from Season 9. So this is another episode that doesn't come from Season 4. I know, it's actually surprising. But this episode, well, at least to me, feels like a Road 2 episode. And I'm surprised it's not called Road to the Big Bang or, something like that. But moving on. So Stewie goes and ruins Brian's life by him doing everything that Brian does, which is hilarious. And then he and Brian eventually cause the Big Bang when Brian messes with the time machine with Stewie. And so then Stewie and Brian create the Big Bang. And then after that, Bertram gets involved and he goes back to kill Leonardo da Vinci, which is somehow related to Stewie, which is creative. Then after that, some intense battling scenes happen between Stewie and Bertram, which are just, again, epic. No, I keep using that word a lot, but they're epic, and they're also very funny. So this episode is very action-packed, and it is very funny. And that is the reason why I love this episode and why it places so high. It's just a very memorable episode to me, and I absolutely love it. Number 3. Number 3 on this list is Rhode to the Multiverse. Yep, another Road 2 episode is on it, and it's in the top 5, so yeah. In this episode, Stewie and Brian go through different dimensions, and it is really funny. That's all you need to know about the episode, really. It is really funny seeing Brian and Stewie go through different dimensions, and each of the dimensions are really funny, such as the Japanese dimension, the misleading portraiture dimension, the Frozen dimension, the Disney dimension, the dimension with all the fire hydrants and the one with all the guys, the future dimension, and the robot chicken dimension. Yeah, there are a lot of them, and you gotta love it. And they make a lot of really good jokes there, too. Especially in the one where dogs are ruling the world and humans are the dogs, which is really funny. So yeah, this episode is really funny and really creative, and you gotta love it. Number 2. Number 2 on this list goes to PTV. Please tell me, guys, something. When you think of classic Family Guy, what episodes do you think of? When I think of classic Family Guy, this is always the first episode that comes to my mind. Here is why. This episode is the funniest Family Guy episode. It is really funny seeing the FCC censor everything. It is really funny seeing how Peter makes the Washington, D.C. or whatever, Washington, D.C. seem quote-unquote dirty, which was also really funny. The FCC song, the FCC song, that was really, really, really funny, and you gotta love the FCC song. The FCC song is by far the best Family Guy song, and it's really the best Family Guy song, which is great. And also, the plot of this episode is really creative. So, Peter makes his own show, which is pretty much a middle finger to the FCC and censorship, and then the FCC comes and censors real life, and it's really funny seeing what they do, which is again funny. I know I keep saying that, but now on to what I consider to be the best Family Guy episode. If you guys hadn't guessed already, the best Family Guy episode, in my opinion, is Road to Rhode Island. So this is the first Road 2 episode, and it's the best Road 2 episode. Here is why. It spawns a camaraderie between Stewie and Brian. That should really be enough said. Their camaraderie seems really genuine here, and you gotta love it. And it's also very funny. seeing what Brian and Stewie do. Also, the plot is very fast-paced and it's very creative, seeing what Brian and Stewie do to try to get back to Rhode Island, which was kind of funny and creative. And the subplot between Peter and Lois was kind of funny also and kind of creative, I guess. And there was a nice subplot with Brian trying to reconcile with his mother, which was sweet. So yeah, this episode was very sweet and it spawned the camaraderie between Brian and Stewie. It was really funny. And it has a very fast-paced plot, which was really good. So this episode is by far the best Family Guy episode I have seen, and it's my favorite of them all. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think on this list and what are your favorite Family Guy episodes. I would like to know what they are. See you guys in the next video I make.